Hey guys, it's a fairly typical Japanese home center. So going through the front doors here, it's actually part of a group of shops here, so we're not actually in the home center yet, but that's their beer sitting out there next to the front door. Showed you that once before on the honesty video, didn't I? Honesty test in Japan. There's another honesty test. All the beer there sitting outside the store next to the front door. So this is a fairly typical Japanese home centre. Probably not that different to home centres all around the world, I'd be guessing. But we'll see, won't we? We'll have a look around and you guys can decide for yourselves. So on the right there, it's sort of drugstore type stuff, toiletries and drugstore type stuff. Some very light medicines and that sort of stuff. So a lot of these aisles I'll just keep going past because they're boring. But we'll go in here and have a look at the nappies and the childcare stuff. No, we won't. We're actually on our way to the beer. Here's the beer. There's some beer, more beer. And chuhai, little cocktails in cans, and sake. What else have we got there? Nihonshu. So we got more beer, lots of beer. Beer is really popular in Japan. I might do another video on that one day, on all the different beers. Nothing really unique about Japanese beer. It's not terribly different from what you might find in other countries, but it's good. It's good beer, Japanese beer. The big bottles, are the huge bottles of whiskey there. I've showed you those before. Huge bottles of whiskey. Huge bottles of Jack Daniels, and all pretty cheap. The tax on alcohol in Japan is pretty cheap, so a bottle of Jack Daniels for 2,000 yen. That's all sake there, and Nihonshu. And then big bags of rice. So sort of home centre is usually sort of like a handyman centre, but they've got all this other stuff. You can see there's clothes and there's bags of rice and slippers. There's a whole aisle of slippers there. I should have actually gone up that aisle. I saw my friend. Hello, yes, good to see you. Haven't seen you for a long time. Yes, good to see you. Bye. Let's not stop for a chat. And then pet area, so pet food and pet stuff. Pet snacks. Pets are really popular in Japan. Done a video on that before too. But anyway. And you've seen this pet area. I actually took you here once before, so you've seen these pets. Those of you who missed that video, it's on the nature and environment playlist, I believe, has the pets. Hey look, there's a Japanese guy in there for sale. I wonder how much he is. And grooming area. This home centre actually has a pet hotel and a grooming centre, so you can take your pets there and leave them there for holidays. Leave them there while you're on holidays, or take them there for the day to be groomed or whatever. Fish. So yeah, not everybody will be into this video, I imagine, but I'm surprised how many people ask about shopping centres. I've got to do a mall. You guys are always asking me for malls, but I've got to be careful. You can't be walking around a lot of these places with cameras, so you've got to be careful. Storage areas, storage boxes, because space is an issue in Japan. There's rows and rows, shelves and shelves, or aisles and aisles of storage stuff, storage boxes and racking, and you can see there's racks there and boxes and all sorts of creative ways. Japanese people are really good at finding ways to keep lots of stuff in really small spaces. So very popular. See all these rows here of boxes and bags and racks, all sorts of clever ways that they have of keeping stuff. Cushions important, of course. People sit on the floor here a lot. All these chairs. Look, I've shown you these before too. See these chairs on the floor? So chairs without legs, basically, to go on the tatami rooms, because you can't put chair legs on tatami floor, of course. Damages the tatami, so go straight on the floor. just the usual, nothing unusual there, just floor coverings and things. Oh, tatami mat, you can buy some tatami mat there. All sorts of floor coverings. There's the lighting aisle. Oh, wait a minute, let's just go back here. Artificial grass. So very popular. We had a look at this once before, didn't we, with the lawnmower video, but the artificial grass is really popular outside. They love using that outside instead of real grass, of course, and because usually the outside areas are really small. So that's all sorts of jigsaw matting. See that stuff? It's jigsaw matting for inside the house. That's popular as well. Sort of soft, cushiony stuff. And there's some more of the fake grass. Isn't that fabulous? Sometimes use it in Genkan too. Not real often, but occasionally you'll see it used in Genkan. Because if you come in with wet shoes, it's sort of ideal for that. Lighting section. Oh, there's the toilets, guys. The heated toilet seats and washlet toilets, because you can actually buy the toilet. That part of the toilet that does all that is actually just the top part, so you can replace them, and they often do. If they've got one that's 10, 20 years old, they'll often replace it with a new one for about $500, and the whole unit comes for the top of the toilet. Oh, there's the interesting paintbrushes there. Just brought you up the aisle to show you the interesting paintbrushes. So much stuff. Again, if I showed you everything in the store, of course, the video would be 3 hours long. So I'm just sort of taking you down and showing you just the stuff that I thought you might be interested in. And I was actually shopping, so I was actually checking a couple of prices myself. How much is that metal box? Oh, that's right. Yeah, there we go. Okay, next. So it's sort of not much different from any other country, I guess. One thing you do notice is that a lot of the material, lots of the tools are really good and actually pretty cheap, because obviously a lot of the big brands and big brand electric tool makers and battery operated tool makers are, Toshiba and Ryobi and all those, Makita, lots of Japanese brands. So tools are pretty good compared to Australia. I haven't bought tools in lots of countries, but the prices of tools aren't too bad. What you do notice is the materials tend to be a little bit the materials can be a little bit flimsy, because as you've seen on our videos before, they don't build buildings here to last long term, really. So a lot of the stuff's only built, the materials themselves are only built to last for short periods of time. So that can be a bit frustrating. Some of the stuff you'll see outside here in a moment is a bit like that, sort of flimsy plastic and stuff like that. So the equipment itself, the Ryobi tools and the power tools, electrical tools and so on, are pretty good. But yeah, the materials can get a bit frustrating with the materials. Trying to find, like for example, trying to find good hardwood in Japan is just almost impossible. If you can find it, it's really expensive, of course. Yeah, it tends to be flimsy. Sheeting, roof sheeting and that sort of stuff tends to be a bit thin. So stuff tends to be a bit thin, not made to last long term. Plasticky. So on the left there we've got lots of corrugated sheeting, mostly plastic, and they use it for roofing and sometimes use it for external walls and things like that. And of course, that stuff doesn't last very long, 10 years, 15 years maybe if you're lucky, and then it'll start to fall apart. So yeah, a bit of a shame. You can see lattice work for outside there. That stuff can get expensive. That stuff can be really expensive because usually they only use small pieces. Usually, if they need a piece of lattice work for outside or need a bit of a wall outside, they only need a small one, a metre by 2 metres or something. So that'll be about, oh, there's the cheap lawnmowers, guys. There's the little electric lawnmowers. So that's on the Buying a House in Japan playlist, the electric lawnmowers. Oh, and here's rice. See the things at the bottom there? This is all stuff made out of bamboo. And at the bottom there, they've got the baskets that they use for dehusking rice. And there's big water containers and irrigation and what do they call it? Oh, for farmers. It's all farming stuff because it's a farming area, this area. So farming stuff. There's tills there, tillers for turning over the soil. So lots of farming stuff in that outside area. So yeah, stuff like that lattice work's expensive because, you know, usually if someone here needs a piece like that, you know, they get 1 meter by 1 meter or 1 meter by 2 meters, and that's enough. So that sort of stuff's expensive. But for someone like me that's got, you know, I'm actually got a project like that coming up where we need to cover up a huge wall, and it's going to be really expensive. The material's going to be really expensive for that, which is a bit of a shame. Actually, that's probably a fair observation. Compared to lots of other countries, you'll probably find the tools are cheaper, but the materials are more expensive. That's probably what it is. The tools aren't too bad. Hey, look, enjoy gardening. Bit of Japanglish there, guys. Enjoy gardening. Okay, I will. Oh, these things for old people, you've probably seen these in other countries too, I guess. Old people push those things around so they can use them to stand up, use them to keep themselves upright while they're walking around, and if they get tired they can sit on them. Mama Cherry there. So just, yeah, quick look through here so you can see that not all bikes in Japan are Mama Cherry. So there's other ones as well, but there's the Mama Cherry with the seats for the kids, those grey seat things at the front there for the kids. Someone asked recently about buying a Mama Cherry when they came to Japan. You know, where can I buy one? My suggestion was don't buy one. Buy something else. They're just terrible to ride. The shape of them, it's not a good design. It's not actually a practical design for a bike. It's hard work. It's hard work staying straight and level on them, and pushing, you know, pedaling them along is actually hard work. So my advice would be, if you're coming to live in Japan and you want to buy yourself a bicycle, don't buy a Mama Cherry. Buy something else. A couple of Niman, Sunman, so $300-400 for the average bicycle. There's folding bikes there on the right. Look, those ones that we're just going past now. They're those folding bikes that you can fold up and put in the back of the car. So the frame folds and everything sort of folds and collapses, and the handles drop down and everything folds up, and you put them in the boot, put them in the trunk. So yeah, normal checkouts there, you know, not much different from anywhere else, I guess, except the service is pretty fast. You wouldn't stand there for more than 5 minutes without someone running up and saying, "Come over here and I'll serve you." All pretty normal. Fairly standard there. There's some more of those rice sorting baskets. And we'll just go right round the registers. You can't get out, in Australia you couldn't get out of the store without going through a register. Here you just walk out. See ya. So anyway, hope you found that a little bit interesting. More videos coming soon.